right. We are good there. All right, so welcome to the Collaboration One track. And let's kind of hit some of the things before we get Amarender to start talking. So a couple things as you saw, this is being recorded today. Make sure you're muting yourself unless you want to ask a question. Go ahead and raise your hand, please. Let us know, and then we'll ask you to come off mute, or you can go ahead and throw questions in the chat, and we'll be able to answer those. If you need live captioning, you can go ahead and turn that on as part of the recording. So go ahead and hit the ... and turn on your live captioning. We are giving away a $25 gift card at the end of each one of these sessions. So if you want to be considered, you do actually have to ask questions, comment, interact, participate in the session today to be able to get into the drawing for the $25 gift card at the end. Also, make sure you guys take a couple minutes, and as we get close to the end of the day, do the survey. Let us know how things went today. We want to be able to improve these sessions. Obviously, right now they're virtual, but eventually we may be going in person as well and offering virtual along with it. But we still need to improve it. So please take the survey. Let us know how things are going. Anytime we have a conference, we have sponsors, and we're no exceptions to that. So we have a lot of great sponsors that will help you in a variety of different ways. So please make sure you take note of these sponsors, reach out, understand what's going on with them, and see if they can help you with any of their particular needs or your needs. And that is the survey. I will make sure we get that in at the end. Please make sure you do this for sessions to let us know how things are going. All right. That's it on my end. I know that Amarender was working on trying to get a couple things up and running. Amarender, how are you doing with that?
Hey, thanks, Don. I just signed up for my trial, so I'm spinning up the Power Pages environment. So by the time we get there, it usually takes about 20-30 minutes to create the site for the first time. So by the time we get there, we should be good to go. And also I ping my colleague for the dev account as well. We should be good.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'll hand it over to you. You can go ahead and start presenting and talking about how to be able to do a website using Power Pages. And
absolutely,
we're going to keep cross to make sure the demo gods are working for us today.
Absolutely. So let's keep rolling. So can you see my screen?
Not quite yet.
I'll turn my camera on too, so you know who I am.
There we go. That's perfect. And I'll turn mine off and spotlight you. So we are good to go.
Okay. So here, go ahead and minimize this. Can you still see my screen?
Yep, we're all good.
Perfect. All right. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. Today is going to be a great day for you for learning Power Platform and collaboration and other stuff. So we were just getting started with the day, fresh and early morning. Thanks for joining me today. So we'll be learning how to build external facing websites using Power Pages. So we'll look at what is Power Pages. Maybe I'll skip to the agenda slide in a moment, but yeah, what we'll learn today is what is Power Pages, what makes Power Pages unique, and we'll also look at Power Pages capabilities and how it can integrate with Power Platform, and we'll quickly dive into a demo, and if time permits towards the end, I'll show you Power Apps Portal's lifecycle as well. So first of all, thanks for all the sponsors, and thanks for attendees to make time to attend this event. So without the sponsors and speakers and the organizers, this wouldn't have been successful. So thanks again for everyone. A little bit about myself. I'm Amarender Peddamalku, a digital transformation leader and a practice lead at Proficient. I have over 14, now coming up on 15 years with overall Microsoft Stack experience. Work with every single version of SharePoint since inception. So that goes back all the way to 2001. So I've worked with 2001 SharePoint, WSS 2003, which is and MOS, SharePoint 2007, 2010, and now all the way up until 2019 on-premise, and of course with SharePoint Online. So I've been through the thick and thin of the journey. I've been through the entire journey of SharePoint. So I really appreciate the pace at which Microsoft got here. You know, you might think it's 10 years is a long time, but if you look at the SharePoint 2010 version, which was released in 2010, it's only about 12 years. The platform was still not there. And that was probably I would say, kind of finding their foot on the ground, the SharePoint 2010 version. And now within 10, 12 years, Microsoft evolved like crazy in terms of like building the collaboration sites and enabling teams and low-code, no-code platforms. I'm just impressed with the pace at which Microsoft brought these many changes. So we'll be on that note, here is my LinkedIn profile. So if you have any questions related to any employee experience, M365, modern work, SharePoint, internet, Power Platform, hit me up. I'll be happy to help you out. So before we dive into the session today, I'll go over who Perficient is in about a couple of minutes, and then we'll dive into the session. Who we are a global digital consulting firm transforming enterprises and businesses, and we are here to help help you guys through your digital transformation efforts. And we have over 7,000 colleagues across 40 global locations, and we are founded in 1997, and we have a repeat business of 95%, which is pretty amazing. Our projected annual revenue for 2022 is $920 million, and we offer many services, which I'll go into in a moment. But here are some of our offices across the globe, across North America, Latin America, Europe, India, and China. So my practice, which is a modern practice, we can help you with anything on Azure. We can help you with your tenant-to-tenant migrations, any modern internet projects that you have, any Teams deployment projects, Dynamics CRM, M365 deployments, and Microsoft Viva and employee experience apps and internet. So we do everything, right from anything on Azure, like custom stuff, to out-of-the-box SharePoint, Microsoft Viva, Teams, internet. So let me know how we can help, and I'll be happy to help you out. If not, I can put you in touch with the right person. So industries that we serve in are retail, healthcare, life sciences, financial, automotive. Those are just like some of the industries that we serve in. We have great relationship with state and local and federal governments. So I've been helping clients in different industry sectors over the last 20 years. We have over 125 certified consultants on board, and we have performed more than 2,000 deployments over the last 20 years. And a couple of some quick facts on the right, towards the right bottom corner. We are number 2 US partner for the monthly active usage for Teams, which is pretty big. And we won 2021 Microsoft Healthcare Partner of the Year Award, and then 2020 Health Innovation Award, and we are a national system integrator with global presence. So that's about it. I don't want to bore anybody with any more intros, so let's dive in to Power Pages. While I present, let me know if you have any questions. Don, let me know if anybody has their hands up or anything like that. I'll be happy to answer the questions. I would rather like to see this as an interactive session versus a kind of a presenting or lecture mode, you know? So let me know. All right, let's dive in. What's Microsoft Power Platform? You might have probably heard of this Power Platform before. It's a low-code platform that spans across M365, Azure, Dynamics 365. So it really falls into ecosystem of M365, and there are 5 main pillars, or there used to be 4 main pillars of Microsoft Power Platform. Power BI, which is used for business analytics. So if you have any data that's sitting in SharePoint or any other resource, it could be any other database, it could be Dataverse or SQL, it could be any database, right? So if you want to represent your data in a visual format, that's the tool that you'll be using, which is Power BI, which is pretty amazing. And coming to Power Apps, you can think of Power Apps as a UI for your application. So you can think of a user interface of an application that you're building. So for app development or any custom app development, you can leverage Power Apps to build pretty cool user interfaces in no time. So think of it as a front end for your application. And now Power Automate. What does Power Automate bring? What does Power Automate bring to your business? Every business has a need for automating any business process. Some of the business process could be, PTO request or leave request or contract approval request, or it could be some routing the documents internally for some compliance needs. It could be any business process. So whenever you're dealing with the business process that you're doing manually and you want to improvise and efficiently perform those business process, think of Power Automate. Power Automate can help you to automate those manual tasks and help you to be much more efficient using the technology, which is Power Automate. So Power Virtual Agents, that's more like a chat bot. If you have been to some of the websites, let's say credit card, you log in and there's like bot that shows up and say, hey, how can I help? So it's the virtual agent. Power Virtual Agents is what is behind the screens to help build those chatbots. So there are intelligent virtual agents. You can build them and you can have FAQ, frequently asked questions on your website linked up to those Power Virtual Agents. You can do many more things with Power Virtual Agents, redirecting the users, answering some questions. So finding information for the end users, you can do a lot with Power Virtual Agents. So those used to be the 4 main pillars of Microsoft Power Platform. And now we have Microsoft Power Pages, which is the new kid on the block, and it's been recently introduced to the Microsoft Power Platform. And it's there to support building external facing websites, which are hosted on Microsoft Cloud. And we'll dive into the details in a moment, but to take you through the history, Microsoft SharePoint used to have the ability to build external facing websites back in, let's say, up until 2010 version. At some point, Ferrari, the famous sports car, their website was built on top of SharePoint. So you could have customized SharePoint to a great extent and completely make it look like just like non-SharePoint site altogether. And Ferrari was one of those companies who built their public-facing site on SharePoint. And after that, Microsoft took down the ability to build those public-facing sites on the platform. And now they're slowly introducing the feature again using Power Pages. So the backend is still all the same. You have all the data connectors that are available for Power Platform. You have the Dataverse, which is a recommended Microsoft database in the backend. You have AI Builder capabilities. So everything is intact. So Power Pages fits right into the ecosystem of Power Platform, and then it can integrate with all these 4 components and along with the backend databases. Any questions so far?
No, but a comment from William saying BPOS. That was a long time ago. Yeah, I love that, William. Thanks.
Oh yeah, remember that. All right, so what Microsoft Power Pages is, it's an enterprise-grade, low-code, no-code software as a service platform for creating and hosting your modern external-facing websites. So you don't have to worry about the infrastructure scaling the traffic up and down. It's a secure platform. It's enterprise level. And whether you're a low-code maker or professional developer, Power Pages enables you to quickly put together the websites in no time, and it'll seamlessly work across multiple browsers. So Power Pages are responsive by design, and you can focus on the actual content of the website while Microsoft handles all the security aspect infrastructure aspect and scaling up and down depending on the traffic. So it's a software as a solution platform that gives you the ability to put together powerful external facing websites in no time. So what makes them unique is being part of the Power Platform ecosystem. So you can build end-to-end powerful solutions by fully integrating Power Automate with other products. So for example, you can embed Power Apps into your Power Pages. You can embed different forms into your Power Pages. Power Pages is your website. You can have a form on there, and it could be Power Apps form. You just put the form onto the website, and you can quickly put the virtual agent on. It's as simple as hooking up a link to your website, and chatbot would show up on your website. And you can embed Power BI dashboards. So you can take a dashboard link and embed that onto the Power Pages page or your website page, and you can interact with the data on the web page. And if you have any business automated processes, for example, let's say we have a feedback form on your website, and when someone gets in touch with you, or when they try to get in touch with you, they submit a feedback form or contact us form. And then in the back end, we can kick off an approval, or we can kick off a notification workflow. And the moment you receive a feedback or like contact us form entry, you kick off a notification email in the back end. You can inform somebody that, hey, there's a request that's waiting for you, or there's someone who's trying to get in touch with us. So you can build those automated business processes in the back end using Power Automate. So it fully integrates with all these Power Platform components to give you the ability to build end-to-end solutions, right from Power Apps to the virtual agents, and to present the data using Power BI, and to automate business process using Power Automate. So as I've said, Power Platform has about 675 data connectors. Think of it as like you can pretty much integrate with any system in the backend that you can think of. It could be Box, it could be Dropbox, it could be CRM, Salesforce, Workday, you name it. Power Platform has tons of connectors, and that's the beauty of this platform. You can integrate with any other platform in no time. Even if your data source, let's say they don't have the connector, or Power Platform doesn't have a connector, as long as your database or data layer has an API, you can build your own custom connector. So you can integrate with any database in the backend that you can think of, and it offers more than 675 connectors, including the Dataverse. And it's growing. Microsoft is constantly expanding on the number of connectors that Power Platform has, so you get that added benefit of being with Microsoft. And some other abilities of Power Pages is you can, as I've said, it's a cloud-based website building platform, and which offers authentication and authorization and security built in. There are some advanced out-of-the-box design templates that you get. You can choose from the templates that they have. If you're not satisfied with those, you can customize, or you can start from blank. So a lot of features out of the box that you get. So you can, once you build a website, let's say you want your home page to be visible to public, but some of the pages underneath, you want them to be secure, only targeted to, let's say, internal users or authenticated users. You can design that as well. So you can have secure pages and also the pages that are open. So you can have a combination of both on your Power Pages website using Microsoft Power Pages. And again, some of the other capabilities are, maybe this is a good segue into how Power Pages evolved, right? So if you have ever used dynamic CRM portals before, that's where Microsoft started with the concept of portals. And dynamic CRM portals got transformed into Power Apps portals. Maybe in about like a year ago, it was still called Power Apps portals, and now it's called Power Pages. So everything is still the same. In fact, the backend is still CRM Dynamics for Power Pages. So if you're currently using Power Apps portals, there's nothing for you to change. There's no migration or nothing that you need to worry about. It's all the same. Microsoft introduced new fluid design studio experience to edit the pages. They kind of put some polish, let's put it that way. And the backend is still the same. So if you or your clients has Power Apps portals today, you don't have to worry about anything, or you don't have to change anything. It's all the same. Microsoft would one day would flip the switch and say your Power Apps portals are now becoming Power Pages. So you would get that communication from Microsoft, nothing to change for you. But if you're starting from like scratch, Power Pages is what Microsoft calls them as. So Power Pages has simplified authoring experience for makers, and they introduced, as I said, new interactive design studio experience using which you can quickly build a website, and all the pages are responsive by design, and you can use advanced development capabilities for pro developers. Let's say your organization is full of developers and you have the skill set on board to customize the website using custom HTML, CSS, JavaScript. You can definitely leverage that skill set to build the websites. And security and governance are baked in, and you can fully integrate with other components of Microsoft Power Platform. And for external facing website, you can allow the users outside of your organization to log in with their identities, some of the known identities such as Gmail, LinkedIn, not maybe Facebook, but that authentication provider is available as well. So you can leverage the third-party authentication providers as Gmail, and you can let the users log in to your website. So there's support for that. And there are other identity providers as well that are supported, which I'll show you as part of the demo.
Amarender, there was a question from David. Going back to the connector side of things, can you create custom connectors? His example is Dell Tech systems.
As long as the system has API, you can create a custom connector. So you can pretty much interact with the APIs. In a sense, all the connectors have APIs in the backend, right? The way SharePoint connector works is it interacts with the list APIs if you're dealing with the list data, or if it interacts with the Pages API if you're getting the information from Pages. So as long as your source has APIs exposed, the REST APIs that can be integrated, you can build a custom connector.
Perfect. Yep, that answered his question. Thanks.
Cool. Any other questions?
Not yet.
All right. Let's keep rolling. As I've said, you can engage with your external customers and partners. You can use authentication providers such as LinkedIn, Microsoft, and others. And you can also use Azure AD B2C, which is business to consumer, and also business B2B, which is business to business. So there in the middle of the screen, you can see sign in with an external account. Those are some of the accounts that you can use to let the end users log into your website. So those are some of the authentication providers that are provided out of the box. And here is a sneak peek of what the Power Pages looks like. So hopefully my Power Pages is already created. We'll see in a moment. But make sure you're creating your Power Pages in a non-default environment. So there's a default environment that you get with your let's say company or organization. Power Pages is not available in non-default default environment yet. So you have to create Power Pages in a non-default environment. Make sure you switch the environments up at the top, and make sure you're in a different environment than the default environment. And we'll dive into a demo in a moment, but here are some of the default templates that you get out of the box, and you can choose from the existing, and they're categorized by if you want to schedule. If you're building a website that's more targeted towards scheduling or progress tracking or any application submission, there are different categories that you can choose the templates from. And they're pretty neat out of the box. You get like a lot of added value just out of the gates, and you can tweak them as needed. And before we dive into the demo, I quickly want to cover the Power Pages pricing. And by the way, Power Pages is available to public as of today. It was in preview like a couple of months ago, but it's available to public now, and it's also available in GCC, Government Cloud, as well. So Power Pages has a few subscription plans for authenticated users and anonymous users. So as you can guess, anonymous users are public users who doesn't need to authenticate. They just browse your website, and for 500 users per site per month, it's $75. So as your users grow, the licensing cost goes down significantly, which we'll see in a moment. For authenticated users, for example, you have secured content on your website, and you only want some authenticated users to see the see the data, interact with the data. You would choose authenticated users, and it's for 100 users, it's $200 per month per site. So you get all cool features like built-in content delivery network support, using authenticated users tier. You get Dataverse storage as well, and also using anonymous. There are some limits in the how much you can store in the Dataverse, but you do get the Dataverse storage as well. But what's interesting is a volume pricing. So if you look at the authenticated users tiers of licenses, for first 100 users, it's going to be $200, right? It's $2 per user. But for 10,000 users, it significantly drops to $75. And for 100,000 users, it drops to $50, which is like 50 cents per user. So pretty cheap overall. So based on the number of users that you have authenticated to your website, it's really kind of a low-cost platform to host your website on a Microsoft cloud. And let's go to the anonymous users licensing. As you can see, for first 500 users, it's $75. And for 10,000 users, it's $37.5. And 100,000 users, it's $25. $25 per month, you can have 100,000 users browsing your website anonymously. That's really a reasonable cost, and you get all the cool features that we talked about, which is, let's say your website is really popular, you only license for 100,000 users, but on the first day you get 200,000 hits to your website. Microsoft scales the infrastructure in the backend automatically. It scales up the infrastructure. You don't have to worry about your website being down or like some of the features of the website not working. You don't have to worry about any of that, as Microsoft handles all of that in the backend for you. And you just can focus on your apps or website or the business logic of your web. So pretty cool licensing structure that Microsoft has, and you can dig in more to find out Power Pages if you go to Microsoft Power Pages, and there are tons of other features that you can learn about. So any questions so far before we dive into the demo? All right, let's dig in and see if my Power Pages is up and running at all. Let me see.
And by the way, we're good. There was just one question. I think you had answered it already as far as authenticated versus anonymous versus authenticated. And it sounds like you can do both, very similar to what we did in SharePoint in the past. So I think we're good on that.
Okay, yeah, you can do a combination of both, which is authenticated users and anonymous users. You can have your homepage, as I've said, facing public, and you can have your other pages which are deep down in your website targeted to authenticated users. You can have a mix of both. So let me see if I can sign in. This is the problem that I had. Someone
I know that
changed.
you might get to this. This is on the same question below, but if you have a Power app on the site, do they need additional licenses to use that? Can anonymous users like fill out a Power app?
That's a great question. So so anonymous users, can they fill out the Power Pages app or Power Apps feedback form? So let's see, if you put Power Apps on the public facing site, I think again, licensing is something not my expertise, but I think the users, you might need to buy the Power Apps licenses as well. If they're especially if you're storing the data in Dataverse and whatnot, I think you need to get the licenses.
That's what I've run into, but it would be cool if it wasn't.
Oh no, Microsoft, they know. They know. Here, let me go to the demo tenant again. And let's see if I can log in. So I'm gonna stop sharing for a moment before I pull up my demo tenant. Give me a moment.
While he's working on that, what are you guys' thoughts as far as being able to use something like this internally in your companies? Is this something you've been looking for a while, or is this something that you're like, wow, this is nice? I know me being a former SharePoint guy, this is right up my alley. I love this. This is the kind of stuff that we used to be able to do, as he was kind of mentioning, and I just like to be able to do this again. So
Yeah, we have a couple of external facing pages that we used to use, actually still are on like our old environment, and we're sort of hybrid still. And so trying to find a replacement for that, but then the needing to have licenses for Power Apps, because we collect a lot of information from people.
yeah,
And I have a couple of Power Apps that I've built, but they have to be authenticated into
to be able to
the
get
site. Yeah, and so yeah, that's kind of a bummer, because we had SharePoint lists and things and on the old site where we could capture that information without them needing to authenticate. So
yeah, and with the idea of what Power Pages is doing, that's something that I would say reach out if you have an account team associated to your organization, just to understand a little bit more what the possibilities are. I mean, I can't. It's a good use case to be able to have something with Power Apps to be able to do that and a licensing associated to it. So that'd be a great question for them to really dive into a little bit more to find out, yeah, this is something that, yes, you can do. This is what it's going to cost, that kind of stuff, just to actually see what's going on with that. That would be my gut reaction right away.
yeah, thank you.
All right, give me a moment. I'm still pulling up my demo tenant.
Anybody else besides CC? I did pronounce it right, correct?
You did.
Perfect. Anybody else use SharePoint sites before for external and kind of excited about this? And you can go ahead and raise your hand if you want to. You don't have to, or just, thumbs up. That works too. All right, Teresa, thank you. Any questions on what he's already kind of talked through a little bit? Or are you all just anxious to see what this looks like, because as I am. Oh, William's even trying to build one as we speak, trying to do a trial and go in there and figure it out. Nice. Nothing
Yeah,
like
just to let you know, I am actually in the process of creating it. So maybe you guys can see it live. So let me go ahead and go to make.powerpages.com. And this is the website. Maybe here's .microsoft.com. That's the URL that you go to. And make sure you're in the non-default environment, as I've said. So you get a default environment out of the box, and make sure you're in the non-default environment to create these Power Pages. So hopefully I'm trying to create a website and it's taking a while. Maybe it's almost there. There it is, just in time.
Oh, perfect.
Can you guys still see my screen?
Absolutely. Yep, we're good.
Cool. So here, well, maybe getting site ready still. But here I can show you some of the cool things that Power Pages has. So if you go to templates, so here are some of the out of the box templates that I talked about. So you have different templates out of the box that you get. For example, if you want to go to scheduling category, and here is the template that you get out of the box, and you can preview the template, how it looks on the desktop and mobile, and see if you like the layout and how things are designed for you. You can choose that template. And let's see, you can switch to mobile and see how the website looks like. And if you like the feel, you can go ahead and choose that one. You can learn more to see what comes with that template out of the box. Like, for example, customized location picker or step-by-step forms with the sample date, custom calendars and stuff like that. So you can hit learn more to learn more about the templates that are available, or what that template includes, and more about templates, obviously. And let's say you go to application submission. This is a cool one that I like. They have a pretty neat design. And as I've said, you can just click through this carousel here and see how the website looks on desktop and mobile. And you can click on learn more to learn what it includes and what you can do with that template. So Microsoft did a great job with the templates that they provide out of the box, and here are some of them that you can avail and access. So just by going to make.powerpages.microsoft.com and make sure you're in a non-default environment, and you should be able to see the templates. And one of the cool features I really like about Power Pages is the Learn tab here. So if I go to Learn, what Microsoft did for us is it put all the learning videos under one umbrella. So you don't have to go anywhere to learn more about Power Pages. So getting started with Power Pages and capabilities, how to create and manage Power Pages, how the security works, everything you can learn about Power Pages is right here in the heart of Power Pages website for you. So you don't have to go anywhere hunting down for the information. All the tutorials and how to connect to Dataverse, security, administration, everything is under one umbrella right here. So that's a great resource if you're just getting started, or even if you want to learn more about any specific topics that you want to kind of dig deep into. So that's really cool feature. I really like that. And templates we covered. So let's go to home page and see if my page is ready. It's still getting the site ready. Let me go ahead and refresh. Still getting my site ready. So let me stop presenting for a moment and see if my other tenant that I spun up is active. Let's see. It takes a good like 30 minutes sometimes to set everything up for you. So let's hope that it finishes quickly. Any other questions while we are waiting for the website to load?
Not seeing anything in chat quite yet.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, so William is saying he's spinning up the Power page now. Might not be there yet, but there is a way to use is there a way to use a vanity domain or subdomain instead of the Microsoft? Is it
Absolutely.
simple DNS or
Yeah.
DNS redirect?
Well, so you can change the domain name of your website in the administration section of your Power Pages. So you start with Power Apps Portal or Power Pages or Power Apps Portal domain, what Microsoft gives you out of the box. And then it still has Power Apps Portals as a domain. It should have been Power Pages, but maybe they haven't changed it yet. But that's the domain that you get out of the box, which is powerappsportals.com. And you can absolutely have your own custom domain. You can have the SSL certificates uploaded, and you can have your own domain configured in the administration section of the portal.
Well, the answer to your question, William, is yes. You can do both.
It's still setting the website, goodness. Let me try a private browser to see if anything has changed. Just to let you guys know, it's still setting up the website, which is it's been 10 minutes. I think more than that, but it's still getting things ready. And we'll dive into it the moment it finishes. Hopefully it'll be soon. Apologize for the delay here.
Yeah, I was wondering if you have any more slides in your deck you can maybe go through and then we can come back to the demo, or?
That's a good point. So I have one thing that I can cover, not really the slide deck, but let me see. While the website is still getting configured, here is the cool feature that I was about to talk once the website sets itself up. So once you have your website up and running, if you want to track the analytics or how the users are using your website or where the users are hitting your website from, you can easily hook up your Power Pages website to the application insights, Azure Application Insights, using a quick little code that Microsoft provides you just out of the box. So all you need to do is copy this script and change the ID of your application insights, Azure Application Insight. Just replace this ID with your Azure Application Insights ID. and you should be able to hook up your website to the back end of Azure Application Insights. So that way you clearly see where the users are logging from, how many users are spending time on which pages. So you'll be able to access all of that with just one line of code change, which is copy paste your application ID for the application insights, and you're good to go with Power Pages. So that's a cool feature that Power Pages has.
Lines, William was asking about, is there any way to be able to connect to like e-commerce, Shopify, WooCommerce, any of those types of third-party applications?
Using Power Pages?
Yes.
So yes, again, it's going to be like using your JavaScript. You can have a form built out, and using your JavaScript, you can have your API calls out to any third-party applications and just interact with the data as it comes back. So all the Power Pages is pretty much the back end is still, or I should say, the behind the screens is all HTML and CSS for you. So you can customize your website as you wish using JavaScript. So if you have an API that you want to call out, simply put an API call in there and get the data, and you can format the data using CSS and style it as needed. And there's your data from third-party application.
Perfect, thanks. Any more questions? Any more thoughts, comments? Remember, I'm taking all of this and getting you guys into the drawing for the $25. So throw some questions out here for him as we're waiting for this to get finished. As we're waiting for that Amarender, is there any other, besides the Learn tab in there, is there any other information out there that they can also learn about Power Pages?
Sorry, could you please repeat the question?
Besides the Learn button or Learn tab, is there any other places that you found about learning about how Power Pages works or getting things set up?
Yeah, that's a good question. You can go to Microsoft Mechanics YouTube channel, and of course the documentation on Microsoft Pages, but you can go to Microsoft Mechanics channel on the YouTube, and they have pretty cool videos that they put out from time to time.
They got something already.
Still trying. Give me a sec. It's taking forever. It's still setting up the website, guys. This is it's been 20 minutes, but still setting the website for the first time.
And was there anything else in your deck that you could talk to, or are you pretty much done with your deck?
I'm pretty much done with the deck. I was going to show you how quickly you can put together the Power Pages and kind of show the administration section and all that. I know we have, how many minutes do we have, Don, still?
We still have until 9 or 10:30, sorry.
Okay. Hopefully it spins up by then. I'm just waiting for things to set up. Someone, just to give you guys context, I was using my dev account and someone turned on MFA and they put their phone number for that account. So we're stuck with that MFA code. I don't own that phone number, so someone associated their phone number with the dev account that I was going to use, which is shared, of course.
Yeah, William has a good thought. You have are you a global admin to the dev account, or is somebody, right, and get rid of the MFA, but you may have to reach out to somebody for that.
MFA is actually has been turned off, but for some reason it's still forcing me to enter the code, which is weird. I'm trying private mode. Let's see. have a different credentials, but I don't know why it's not. I'm trying a few different things while the website is still getting set up. All right. So what I'm gonna do in the meanwhile is it's still getting ready to share. I don't know how long it's gonna take to set everything up, but I'm gonna show you guys how the page would have been look like. So I go to Microsoft website, and here, let me zoom in a bit. And I'll show you. This is what I was going to show you. So once you log into your environment, this is how the UI is going to look like. So you go to make.powerpages.microsoft.com, and on the right side here, click on the environment and make sure you're in the non-default environment. And you would have seen this screen once you're in there. So there are four main things that are available for you from the menu options, right? So if you click on Pages right here on the left-hand corner, you would have seen the navigation, how the navigation would look like on your website. So for home, for individuals, families, for business, and then contact us. This is the navigation. You can simply right-click on it or just drag and drop through the order, and the navigation would be reordered on your website. So that's how you modify the navigations. And if you go to, let's say, any page, let's say home page, and if you have a SharePoint background or SharePoint design background or editing pages, that skill set pretty much transforms or translates into Power Pages experience. So if you hover over on the page, this will be highlighted for you, and it's asked you like, would you like to add a section? Like, would you add to like a one? Would you like to add 1 column, 2 column, 3 column layout? Or you can choose 1/3 to the right, 1/3 to the left. You can choose the section or the layout that you want. And once you have the section up there, it's as simple as adding a text box or image to that section. So you choose the layout first, and then page would be divided into those layouts. And then once the sections have been, once the layout is put out for you by Power Pages, you can simply hover over and say there would be an add button here and say click add, and it asks you, do you want to add text or image or a button? So it's as simple as choosing from what's available in terms of the controls, and then you simply add either a text box or a button or image or link to a video or link to a Power BI report. So you simply click on the available options, and that's how you put together the page really quickly in no time. So let me see if this is finished by chance. Still getting things ready. It's been 30 minutes. Anyway, so you add the section to the page, and then within the section, you can add a text control or image control or video control within the page. And it's pretty easy to add them. And if you click on styling, you would see different stylings or theming available for your website. You can simply change the themes of the website by just clicking on the themes would show up here. Just you click on different themes that are available, and then you change the theme of your website with a click of a button. And let's say you added this kind of a homepage banner section, and you want to edit the background. You simply click edit background here, and you can upload a custom image, or you can edit the background color as well, and you can go to image settings and kind of put the height and width and all those custom settings for the image. So it's all within the browser. It's all within the page. You just simply hover over different sections on the page and add different controls, just like web parts that you add on SharePoint. You just add different snippets to the pages, and that's how you put your page together. And if you go to setup, and that's where the administration section would be. Previously with Power Apps portals, you used to have to go to like 5 different sections to basically look at the administration, what other settings that are available for you in terms of changing the domain name, changing the base URL of the portal, or uploading custom SSL certificate, or actually setting up authentication providers, and all those. You should have the ability to go into the admin section right from here, like when you click on setup. So everything has been brought under one umbrella using Power Pages, whereas with Power Apps portals, things used to be in different places for different functionalities. So admin section is right here, and styling is right here. And if you click on data tab, that's where you can add different data sources to your website. You can add Dataverse tables. You can create more columns in an existing table. So you would have seen all the tables in the data tab right here. Let's see what else I can cover. And you see the sync sync option right here. So all the changes that you're making are live on the website. So you don't have to, like, let's say, publish or sync. Everything that you're changing on the website is live. So that's the reason you don't modify production website. You simply design things in dev and carry it through dev, staging, and QA and prod. And that's the life cycle I was going to show you as well. But pretty much we have to wait for the website to be spin up for that. Let's see. 30 minutes still, maybe. Come on. All right, here. Let's see. You guys can still see my screen, right?
A round of applause for it to finally be done.
Oh yeah. So here, I don't want to go through this. Yeah, this is the design experience. Thank God. This is the design experience that I was talking about. So if there are four sections in the menu here, like pages, you see all the navigation elements here, and there are some of the sub pages and whatnot, and other pages that you can configure, which are access denied or page not found, and all these. So styling, if you go to styling, there are different themes available out of the box for you. So you can simply choose a different theme and it'll change the theme of your website. So it's as simple as that. And if you want to customize the look and feel, you can definitely do that using custom CSS, but out of the theming is pretty good, that you can kind of choose and tweak as needed. And there are different brand color options, and you can format, you can choose the font, the headings, and the font size and stuff like that. How you want the buttons to look like. You can pretty much control most of the look and feel right from here using theme section. And if you go to data, I'll just say discard. And if you go to data tab here, and by default, it comes with a feedback table, and it has like a few rows in here, but other tables. So these are the default tables. And if you want to add a new table, you can just add it to the Dataverse and hit sync button. So what sync does is it gets the tables that you added to your backend, whether it's Dataverse or other resource, it pulls the tables into your environment or into your Power Pages so that you can use that information. So sync is pretty much to get the new data that's up there in the backend. So preview is how your website would look, but all the changes that you're making on the website are live, so you don't have to publish them. Or so be careful about modifying the website live, because you shouldn't be doing that in production. You should be doing that on dev, and then take the content and publish that out to QA and stage in production eventually. So sync is used to get the other data sources. Let me go to setup and open Admin Center for a moment. And then here is the identity providers that I talked about before. You see Azure Active Directory as the authenticated provider, Azure AD B2C, business to consumer as authentication provider, and LinkedIn and Gmail and other Microsoft other authentication providers that you have. So you simply have to click configure and go through the prompts to set that authentication provider for your website. And let's see what else we want to go through here. How much time do we have, Don?
We have another 15 minutes, so I think we're good.
Hey, sorry, looks like I lost you. Can you guys still hear
15
me?
minutes. Yeah, we actually could see you, and now we could hear you. So we have about 15.
15 minutes, that's fine. All right, so here is the admin center. I clicked on the admin center. Where did I go? From setup, there was an admin link here. So I clicked on that. Here is the administration of your portal. And if you click on, let's see, what do you want? So you see the website has the modern look and feel now. If you want to, you can switch to classic as well, but pretty much you can control the security of the website, like IP restrictions of your website. If you want to restrict your website visibility from some locations, you can do that using IP restrictions. You can install custom certificates for your website, and along with the custom domains, and manage site visibility and permissions. So let me go back to the dynamics here as well. So here is your website link, and if you want to edit that, you can edit the base URL of the website right here. So you see I have Minnesota 360 dev powerappsportals.com. So this is my base URL, and this is the domain name that it comes with. So you could have changed the custom domain name by uploading your MX records or pointing MX records and uploading SSL certs. You can change the domain name, and also you can change the base URL after you configure it. So there are some things that are still not visible here. And for that, I have to switch to classic. So maybe they're slowly making their way to the modern look and feel here. But site health is something that I use pretty often, which gives you things out of the box that Microsoft checks for in terms of health. How your website is doing. For example, let's say you have the header and footer of your website, and is that output cache enabled? In other words, header and footer doesn't change that often on your website, right? So we want to cache the header and footer. So is the header and footer caching enabled? Yes or no? It gives you either a pass or fail. So you just, once you build a website, you come to the admin section and check the site health. It gives you a pretty good visibility into what you're doing well and maybe what are the things that you need to tweak and fix to manage the health of the website. So that's the site health section. For a moment, I want to switch to Classic and log in with my account. It might take a while, so let's see what we have up here in the admin center section. This is just an admin center. Let's see.
Amarender, did I
So
also
here,
see you had the ability to be able to use Visual Studio to be able to and to actually do more advanced coding of the site?
yes, you can. So let me show you that in a moment. Once it logs me in. Yes, you can. So here, let me switch back to the page real quick. Where was I? Go to pages. And maybe how about I show some of the pages, how to edit the pages that we just talked about. So you click on add a section, and let's say I pick a 3-column layout here. It's as simple as choosing your layout, and you see 3 columns right here for you, and you can add different components to your website. So I'll add, let's say, a button and say Microsoft Power Pages. And I can go to the documentation here of Microsoft and simply link to that here. And right below that, I can say add some text, right? Say here is, I can enter text right here. Here is more information about Power Pages. And then what we're going to add here is an image. Let's see, click on that. You see different options right here. For add a component, you can add an image or a video or iframe component. You can add a form, which lets you add the Power Apps form here. You can add a list, which is a SharePoint list, so embed Power BI. So you can choose from all the options that are here. So let's go ahead and upload an image from here. So I like the cat image. Go ahead and upload that. And also go here. And I want my website to look like I'm embedding some dashboards in here. So I'll go ahead and put that one here as well. And then in add section, I want to add 3 more, or maybe right here in this section, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to add a video. And let's go to Microsoft Power Pages Mechanics channel. Power Pages Microsoft Mechanics. YouTube. So here, I can get this channel URL right from here. And I'll add an individual video as well, which is this one. So let me go back to my pages section, Design Studio. I want to add, how about I add it right below this? So I don't like this, I just delete it. I'll go ahead and add 2 more columns, 2-column layout, add a component, go to the video section, and just paste the URL of Microsoft Power Pages introduction here. The Design Studio experience, it's as simple as adding the link. So here, you see how it adds the embedded video in here. And right below that, I can add a button and say, learn more. And I can have a link to the channel itself. So I can go to the channel right here. And I just go to the channels. Let's see which one we want to pick. Oh, Microsoft Power Pages didn't make it yet, but we can go ahead and use this link for now. and learn more. I add that link here. So here, this simple it is to add a video in line and have a link out to more videos. And let's go ahead and add one more image here. I'll just add, let's see, this one. And let's preview the website to see how it looks. So far, we added a 3-column layout and some text and buttons, some images with inline videos, and learn more, right? So let's see how it looks like with the preview. So here is a cool feature. With your mobile, you can just scan this barcode and see how the website would look like in mobile version. So if you want to see how it looks, just scan that barcode. You'll be able to see that in the back end. So here I'm previewing. Goodness, accept. Don't throw me any permission issues here. Let's see. Here, this is my website. You see that? You see the button, and you see the text that we added with the image and a little graphical image right here, and the video, learn more. So if I click on the video, it plays in line within the browser. And I added this image and learn more, it takes me to the channel that I added. So it's as simple as adding different sections to your website and adding different text and image and video controls to your website. So it's an intuitive authoring experience that you have on the pages. And let's say I want to edit the background color. It's as simple as that. So let me go back to this section, edit the background. So you see how the color is changing right here. So it's as simple as that to change the background colors. So your creators have all the freedom in the world to change the look and feel of your website. And coming back to the question, can you edit the pages in Visual Studio? You absolutely can. So if you click on edit code, so it actually opens up a Visual Studio code. And it opens up your website, everything. So let's see, allow, throwing in some permission stuff at me, but you see all the files here. These are the files in CSS. So you see this is the home page HTML in the backend. So if you're a pro developer, you simply come back here and edit the pages using HTML, and everything would be saved back to your website. So it's as simple as switching to the developer mode and put your code back in and sync the changes. And your changes should be visible on the page. If you're a pro developer, that's how you modify different pages. Any questions on editing the pages before we dive into the admin section?
Not seeing anything, but let's say you got like 5 minutes and change.
Yep. All right. So I'll quickly, let's see if I can, this is the preview of our website. And I want to go back. So this is the classic mode of administration. So if I go to portal actions in the admin center, so here is where we went, just to give you guys an idea of how we went there. So open admin center is where I clicked to get here. So you can restart the portal. You can update the Dynamics 365 URL, and you can change the base URL of your website and manage custom certificates if you have the custom certificates of your website. You can upload them here and manage Dynamics 365 instance. This is something, the last piece that I wanted to show you guys. If I, let's see. Here, let me see if I can go to that. It should take us directly to the website. Let's see. I can go to my Power Pages again. Where were we? We go to make dot. and edit. So here, once you log into powerpages.com, it'll show you all of your website in one location so that you see all of them in one central location. So I'll go ahead and edit it from here. And then we'll be in our admins or in our Power Pages website that we just set up. If I go to setup, let's see, portal management, it's hidden here. So you click on portal management from here, and that takes you to the back end of your Power Pages environment. So here you click on portal management. Yep, that's exactly what I want to show you. You see the URL here, it's still CRM Dynamics URL for you. So all the back end of your Power Pages is still hosted in CRM Dynamics. And you see all of your pages and page templates, everything is stored in the back end for you in Dynamics. So you can look at the lists and the basic forms and web pages, everything is stored in, again, Dynamics for you. Let's say you have different contacts or authentication providers that you set up. All of them would be saved under contacts. And you can set up different roles as administrator, anonymous users, and authenticated users. And you can control the permissions on different pages using the roles that you set up here. Authenticated obviously is like logged in users. Anonymous is public users. And the thing that I mentioned, which is enable traffic analytics, is you pick the website right here, which is Minnesota 365 Dev, and enter this code from Microsoft. This is a script, and I'll go ahead and put the link in the chat so that you guys have it. Let me go ahead and put that in the chat. You simply take the snippet from there and paste it into the section right here. Where was I? And change the URL, change the connection string. You just change the application ID of your Azure Application Insights. You'll be able to see all the analytics hooked up to your backend Azure Application Insights. So it's that easy to hook up your portal or Power Pages, I should say, Power Pages website to the backend Azure Application Insights so that you can see all the user activity. So this is the back end of your Power Pages environment hosted still on Dynamics. And here is the, where was the admin section? Here is the admin center if you want to modify the base URLs or upload certificates and whatnot. So here is where you would go to do that in Power Platform Admin Center. And you can obviously change the base URL from here. And again, we covered all the security aspects like IP restrictions and custom certificates and whatnot. You can switch to Classic to see some more options. But here, this is the admin center. This is the backend, which is in Dynamics. And here is what you have in terms of authoring experience, which is page editing experience. So that's what I wanted to show you. I apologize for the hiccups with the demo, but still we were able to show some things in action, which is great. And that's how you edit the pages, and that's how you create Power Pages website from the beginning. And as you have seen, when you go to when you go to Power Pages for the first time and you choose this template and you give it a name, it takes good 30 minutes to create the website for the first time. So keep that in mind. It won't be in like quick 5-10 minutes. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, but give it like good 30 minutes before you create the website. So once you give it a name and the URL, you should be able to hit done, click done, and that creates your website for you. And then you can go ahead and tweak the design as needed. Any questions so far?
Nope, doesn't look like we have anything else.
All right, I'll hand it over to you, Don, if we don't have anything. So thanks so much. So maybe one last thing I can show you is a contact us form here. So if I go to contact us, which is the default that I get with Power Pages, you can fill in your details. And then once you hit submit, this is where we can hook up the Power Automate in the backend to send the notification emails and whatnot. So there is that flexibility, that integration with all other Power Platform components. So with that, I want to thank you thank you all the attendees. Again, there was a mix-up with the demo, but eventually it loaded up, and I'm glad I was able to show you some things. And hopefully you took something away from this session. Thanks again for your patience, and thanks for attending my session. Don, thanks so much for moderating it.
No problem. And thanks everybody for all the questions and interactions for that matter. I did go through and randomly pick from those people who interacted. So David Patrick, I believe you are the winner for this first session, the $25. And just confirm, can you throw your email address in there so I have that and we can get that to you sometime today or next week? That would be great. And thank you, everybody. And we are going to stop the recording first for the session, the first session.